Salam and welcome. Today making Dahi Bara or Dahi Wada, two names for a very similar dish. What is it? It is savoury lentil dumplings in sweet and sour yogurt. It's a very popular street food, but also goes very well with certain rice dishes like biryani or Pilaou rice. And we are doing it to go with biryani. There are three parts to this dish. Number one is the lentil dumpling, number two is the yogurt, and number three is the garnish that goes with the yogurt. And I'm going to take you through the steps of making all three on today's video. So the first thing is lentil dumpling. The lentil classically used is the white lentil, also called the Urid dal or the Urid lentil or mash dal. I have washed this and I have soaked it in water overnight. You can soak it anywhere between 4 to 6 hours or a bit longer if you want to. I've drained the water out and I'm going to blend this in the blender until it's a very smooth paste. So there we are, our lentil paste is ready. If while you're grinding the paste is very thick and not coming in the blades of the grinder, add some water. I added about maybe 4 or 5 tablespoonfuls in it. When you're mixing it, also if it's too thick, then add small amount of water at a time. Don't add too much. If it becomes too liquidy, then it will be difficult to handle. Now we're going to add some ingredients in it. So I'm going to put some salt, baking powder, dried crushed red chilies, bit of hing powder, and dry roasted cumin seeds and mustard seeds. Now we need to mix it together for about 5 to 7 minutes, and this is very important because more you mix it, the more airy and light your lentil dumplings are going to be. So while we are mixing it, let's heat up some oil to fry the dumplings. So just before you start putting your lentil dumplings inside, just make sure the oil is nice and hot. To check that, take a small amount of your mix, put it in the oil. If it floats like it is, then the oil is ready. To make it even size or near even size, I'm using a spoon to put the batter in. Keep the heat on medium heat. Don't make it very hot, otherwise they will burn from the outside and inside will stay raw. Make sure they're nice and golden brown, because when they go into the yogurt they become slightly lighter color, but don't burn them. We're going to put them on a kitchen paper to dry out and to cool down. So here we go, our baras are ready. Couple of useful tips to remember. Number one, if your baras are too big, then they will not cook through and through. They might look cooked on the outside, but inside they might still be raw. So be mindful of it, don't make them too big. Second thing, keep the temperature of the oil medium low, because if you cook it at a very high heat in the oil, again they will cook on the outside, inside they will stay raw. Make sure you break one of them to make sure they are cooked through and through. This one looks cooked through and through. Have a taste. Yes, the lentil is cooked through and through. But if it's not, don't worry about it too much. Let them cool down and put them back in the oil for another 2-3 minutes to cook them again. And that way they will cook all the way through. So what we are going to do now, going to put the baras in water, because we want them to absorb all the water rather than absorbing the yogurt. I will eat this is nice. We leave them in there for about 10 minutes. In the meantime, we'll prepare our yogurt. So I got about half a liter of very smooth, full cream yogurt and nice quality yogurt. I'm going to put a teaspoonful of salt and plenty of sugar. The yogurt has to be sweet. So once you mix the sugar, make sure you taste it and it tastes sweet. It tastes nice, it's quite sweet. Next we are going to do is take half of the yogurt out. This yogurt we are going to put aside, still a thick yogurt. We're going to cover it and going to pour on top of our badas just before serving to get together with the garnish. This is going to stay on one side. If you're not serving immediately, put it in the fridge. The rest of the yogurt, I'm going to dilute it to make it thin with water, because badas are going to sit on this yogurt and they're going to suck the fluid out, so it will become quite thick. So our serving dish, the thin yogurt we are going to pour in the bottom. So my bada has been sitting in the water for good 15 minutes and they're much softer than they were. So just going to gently squeeze the water out and lay them in the thin yogurt that we diluted earlier. So there we are. Our badas are sitting nicely in our yogurt. I'm going to cover this with cling film because I'm not serving this dish for another few hours. I'm going to leave it in the fridge, and just before we serve it, about 10-15 minutes before, I'm going to make the garnish, and I'll show you how to make the two garnishes and pour it on top with the thick yogurt that we have put aside. So we're going to make the two garnishes today. The first garnish we are making is the dry garnish, which is the chaat masala, for which I've got black salt, few peppercorns and dry roasted cumin. Into my blender, one dry red chilli. If you want it more spicy, you can put more red chilies, dry pomegranate seeds and amchur powder. I'm going to grind this into a powder. So there we are, our chaat masala is ready. I'm going to sprinkle it on top of the yogurt just before we serve. So the next garnish we are making is the wet garnish, which is the tamarind chutney, for which I have got some salt, brown sugar, tamarind paste and dates from which I have removed the seeds. I'm going to use the hand blender to blend this into a paste. So there we are, our tamarind chutney. Let's taste it, make sure it tastes alright. Really delicious, sweet and sour, lovely. Chaat masala. Let's complete our dish now. So we have our badas over here, which have been resting in the dilute yogurt. On top of it, the thick yogurt that we separated earlier. I'm going to pour it on top. Sprinkle our chaat masala first. This is our chaat masala. Next is our tamarind chutney. So there we are, we're ready to serve. I'll leave the tamarind chutney and the chaat masala on the side so people can add some more if they want to. Thank you for watching and I hope you enjoyed this dish. Until next time, I'll see you very soon. Take care.